Let's take a closer look at the new FD.
Seriously, I just had it.
Starting with the exterior, it does have a few minor cosmetic issues. The bumper here is loose, so that'll need to be reattached. And it does have some nicks and some dents in it around here. It's been touched up a couple times. This is a front license plate mount that will probably need to go. The car has obviously been resprayed in this really nice blue color. They didn't do too shabby of a job, but there are just some bubbles and some nicks and stuff around the exterior of the car that will need sorted. This wouldn't have been my first choice for a wing for this car, but it kind of suits it. You've got this little wire here to, I guess, aid in rigidity, but that needs tightened up. The calipers have been painted red. I'm not a huge fan of red calipers, but to each his own. I might just, pull those off and respray them. It does have 99 spec lights, which I'm really excited about, and these clear out markers, front and back, the reverse lights, they look pretty sweet. You can see here we've got a couple of light scuffs on the bumper paint, and there's this guy here. I'm assuming this is a reverse light that attaches to the license plate somehow. We'll have to investigate that a little bit further. Obviously the car is very dirty. I haven't had the opportunity to wash it since we got back from port. It does have some bubbling and a couple of imperfections in the paint up top. Once we get it cleaned up and buffed a little bit, that might improve things a little bit, but there is some bubbling in the paint up in through here. I'm not a huge fan of these carbon fiber covers for the door handles. We'll probably see if I can remove that without damaging what's underneath, or at a minimum get rid of these stickers here. Again, very dirty. There's a couple of spots here and there that the paint's nicked up. This gap right here is a little off. I'm pretty sure I can adjust for that. This grill right here is gonna need reattached. It looks as though someone had done that previously. There's a couple of holes there. Other than it being dirty and a couple of scratches and scuffs and some paint blemishes, it's a very, very pretty car. Moving to the interior of the car, we've got some extra bolts and stuff in there. The map insert little holder is missing. This cover right here is pretty scuffed up, so is the passenger side. I was glad to see it had the RX-7 floor mats. The seats are in great shape. There's no wear on the bolsters or anything. They're in fantastic shape. It does have a Momo steering wheel that is removable, and it has a hub, which actually makes this stick out a little bit further, and the steering wheel itself is a little bit smaller than stock, which is great if you're above 6 feet tall because it gives your left knee a little bit more room to move in and out. So that's probably a mod I'll probably do to the black one, just to give my left leg a little bit of room whenever I'm operating the clutch. Looks like we have a remote for the stereo. Turbo timer. That looks to be a speedometer. Some gauges, head unit, Kenwood, enclosed subwoofer. So this thing must have a system in it too. There's probably going to be a ton of extra wiring that I'm going to be getting rid of in this car. Oh, yep. A GPS antenna, I'm assuming for the speedometer. A blue shift knob that is quite loose. That'll probably be something else that'll go. It has this weird card reader thing. I'm not 100% sure what this is. I can only assume it's an anti-theft device for the stereo. Maybe you need a special card to stick in there in order to power on the head unit, because I haven't been able to do that yet. Came with a bunch of documents, exhaust, and of course it's all in Japanese, so I can't read it. All the knobs are functioning. They're not broken. Looks like we have some extra speakers in through here, so maybe this thing will thump. We'll have to see. The back seats are in great shape. There's one tiny little blemish right down here where the seat's cracked a little bit. But I gotta say, I do like the black interior. It looks good. It also has this passenger side foot plate. Wow, that was loud. Sheesh. But as we can see here, that's 76,000 kilometers. So fairly low mileage. It does have a switch for the fog lights, which there are no fog lights, which means there's probably wiring up front that will need to be removed, or add on some fog lights. Time will tell. In the back seat, there are these neat little cubby holes that, what is that? Huh. A little bit of car perfume. Who knows what you'll find whenever you're importing a car. Just make sure the fuel door and the back hatch functioning properly, which they are. Okay, the gas struts for the rear hatch are probably going to need replaced. And, oh, a Kenwood powered subwoofer that is apparently velcroed to the rear carpet. Oh, sweet! It actually has the toolkit. I can't believe it. Unreal. And do we have a jack? Yes, we have a jack. Cool. But we have no spare. So, got a jack, but can't do much with it. Under the hood, you can see there are several modifications done to the car. It does have an upgraded HKS intercooler, and it has an oil catch can. Still has the stock twins, still has the air pump. Bunch of wires here that go to probably fog lights and the system. And it looks like this thing has HID headlights. Oh, wow. Those are so bright. Awesome. And the headlight actuators work properly. This intercooler has been taped up with, aluminum foil tape pretty much. So that's something we'll have to look into and maybe address, just kind of neaten things up. Well, looking down in through here, these lines have been marked 1, 2, and 3 with valve paint marker, and a lot of the vacuum lines have the same thing going on, which tells me that the vacuum lines have probably been replaced, which is a good thing. But I'm absolutely gonna take this thing and probably take the stock twins and make them, instead of sequential, just make it a twin turbo and get rid of the rat's nest. I'm not sure if this thing has an aftermarket ECU. I'm assuming it's still a stock ECU just based on, the smaller mods that have been done, cold air intake, little intercooler. So I think this thing's pretty much stock with the exception of suspension body kit and a couple of minor motor modifications. I did take a look underneath the car. It is very clean underneath there, and there's zero rust on it. It looks as though someone has taken the control arms and they've painted them, and it looks as though someone's put some time and a little bit of love into this car, which is great. It does have a minor oil leak towards the center of the car here, and it smells like gear oil, So that's probably going to be a seal in the transmission or something like that. The car was originally black by the looks of things, and you can see that it's been resprayed this really pretty blue color, and it's obvious from all the overspray that I find in minor areas like this that weren't covered up whenever it was being repainted. Overall, the car's not in terrible shape. It's 27 years old. It's been repainted. It does have some blemishes here and there. Overall, I'm very happy with the look of the car, and especially the interior plastics. They're all in great shape. The FDs are known to have problems with everything falling apart just because it was just kind of cheap plastic. But I'm very happy with the car. We're going to be getting it up on jack stands here shortly and doing a compression test and see what the numbers come back. And that'll be in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.